Hey, Mario.
Hello. Raining again, huh?
Sure is. Raining, cold.
Crazy.
Baruch Hashem. We need the rain, but hopefully no more trees fall down.
It's gonna rain through 6 a.m.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How's the house? No leaks?
I don't have to go out.
You speak? There's Ernie. Hey, Ernie.
Hi. We're dealing with this, we're on Lamed Vav.
Yeah.
36. We're dealing with the sugya of heter, it's mitzdaref le'isser. Like you have 9/10 of a kazayas of bread, and then 1/10 of a kazayas of wine, and it mixes, now you have a kazayas. So there's a taruvis of wine and bread. So according to the halacha we learned in the Rav Yochanan, that by all other isurim, there is no except for nazir, because it says mishras. Mishras refers to like soaking something in something else, and so therefore nazir is an exception. Ze'iri omar afsa or beval taktiru. You're not supposed to take yeast or something that ferments and offer that on the mizbeach. And even if the saor is not a kazayas, but the dough is mashlimit to kazayas, you can be chayiv for bal taktiru of saor. So it's another exception. Come on, Karabalazer. The Dorish kol. It says kol machmetzes lo sochel. Anything that causes dough to become leavened, you may not eat. Now that's by chametz pesach, but it comes to include even a taruvis, at least by bal taktiru. So the Gemara says, that's the case. Well, why don't we say that if you have a half a kazayas of chametz with a half a kazayas of something else, it's a taruvis that has chametz, and from this call, machmetz lo sochelu, there should be a ribui versus ena chanami. Zeiri holds like that by chametz heter's mitzraf le'isser. But in our case, that which Seiri only mentions saor is lafukim me'abaya. Sha'amar yeshak tor b'pachas mikazayis. You see, according to Zeiri, you can't have haktorah. Al haktorah has to be at least a kazayis. So therefore, if some Saor got mixed up with a korban, it puzzles it, and if you were makter, you're loike. And there is no haktor less nekazais. But Abai holds you can have haktor less nekazais. And if you are makter saor less nekazais, you get malchus. But Kamash Malan, the Zeiri holds ein haktor b'pachos nekazais. That's why they mentioned it here by saor, but it's lav dafka that he doesn't hold the same thing by chomet. Yosef Rabdimi v'komer lalai shmaitza. Oh.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, shalom aleichem.
Oh my God! How did unbelievable? When did you get back?
Yeah, this afternoon. For me, it's 25 to 8 in the evening. Never mind morning. Welcome back, Walter. Thank you.
Walter, yeah, they're back. Okay, so we're on Lamed Vav, a little bit down from the top. Yosef Ravdimi, the Karbalai Shmaitza. We're learning the sugya of heter mitzaref leisser, that normally need a kazayas of wine, a revius of wine, or kazayas of grapes. But by Nazir, even if it's a mixture, 9/10 of a kazayas of bread dipped in wine, and you have a kazayas, you're going to be chayiv malchus as well. Eis ve'abaya. Hamikveh shel truma, you have a stew of truma, v'ashum v'ashemen shel chulin. And you have oil and garlic that was in that stew was chulin. V'noga tvul yom b'mikvah. Now, a tvul yom is somebody that touched the sheretz, went to the mikvah, and they go, and so at that point he's a tvul yom. He normally puzzles truma with his touch. Even if he just touched a part of this dish, puzzle is kulon, because the truma is not, the ikar is the soup. The garlic and the oil is just like a accoutrement. So if a tvul yom touched even a part of this mixture, it puzzles everything. Vice versa, if mikveh shel chulin, the cholent was chulin, vashum vashemen shel truma, the garlic and the oil was truma, the nugget tvul yom lo pasal el mokom mago. Only where he touched does it become possible, but not the whole thing. Because now, Davinam ba mokom mago, why should even the place where he touched become possible? Hoil v'zar loika lebekazayis. A zar who eats this taruvis will get malchus. Zar's not allowed to eat truma. Yet we view the whole thing as a kazayis. So my timate, and why do we say it's puzzle? Isn't it lav mishum dehetem mitzraf leisser? Maybe the same concept that here we're also dealing with heter mitzraf leisser, and that's why whoever eats a kazayas of this stew will get malchus. And therefore the exception is not just by Nazir, even by other isurim. Other of them below. Ma kazayas de ikke kazayas bechday chilas. Pras. Meaning, if k'day chilas pras means the time it takes to eat a half a loaf of bread, which is 9 minutes. The din is, for example, by the night of Pesach, and we're going to get the mitzvah of matzah. You can eat it slowly, but you better eat it within 9 minutes. If you drag out the eating of the kazayas longer than 9 minutes, you're not going to get, you didn't eat a kazayas matzah in time. Same thing, if you eat a dvar isser, to get malchus, you're not allowed to eat even a chatzi shir, even a minute amount you're not allowed to eat. But to get malchus, you have to eat a kazayas b'chdei achilas pras. Here as well, if you eat enough of this taruvis, that the guy is going to eat a kazayas of truma if he eats 10 pounds of it. So within the 10 pounds, there'll be a kazayas of truma. That's why the zar is chayv. Not because this is another exception to the rule of heter itzarf leisser. Meaning, when a person eats a kazayas of Isser within 9 minutes. Are you chayiv midin Torah that you get malchus? Amalei in. Yep. Yachi, amai pligi rabbanon alei. Why do the Chachamim argue? Bekuta Chabavli. Kuta Chabavli is like a mayonnaise. And there's a taruvas of chametz there. And the Chachamim there say, you're not chayiv even if you eat b'chdei achilas pras chametz. Amalei hanach lekut Chabavli, the leker kazayas. It's like there's a minute amount of chametz. So you'd never, and kuta chababli is like mayonnaise. Nobody sits from the mayonnaise jar and eats 10 pounds of mayonnaise. So you're never gonna come to eating kazayas of chametz by kuta. For 2 reasons. Eat it karsarf le misr. It's not considered achila if you eat it all in one shot. Shabbat it's like eating a whole bunch of ketchup in one shot. But people don't eat that. It was very spicy. It's like harif. Eat mishter kashatar, and if he's going to use it as a dip, just dip his bread in it. Lo mishkachas kazayich. He's never going to eat enough of the kuta chabavli to eat a kazayas within 9 minutes when you eat a whole bunch of it. It's shtei maducha shel tavli. You have 2 pestles, containers of spices. In one of the containers is truma spice. The other container is chulin spice. And they're sitting in front of 2 pots. Achashal truma, achashal chulin. The naflu elu tochem. We come by, we see that the 2 spice bowls are empty. Now, which ones did they fall into? But we don't know for sure. We say shtein mutaros. They're mutter. Even eaten by a Jew. Even the one that had chulin in it, where maybe truma spices fell, we don't have to worry about that. Shani oimer chulin l'toch chulin naflu, truma l'toch truma naflu. It's a kula by it's brought down in the too. It's a kula by the dinim of taruvis that we assume the spice of truma fell into the dish of truma, then that could be eaten by a kohen, and the chulin can be eaten by Yisrael as well. We don't have to have a chashash that some of the spices of truma fell into the chulin to answer it for Yisrael. However, this is the kasha. That if you eat enough of a mixture, that you can end up eating a kazais of the dvar iser, and that is midoraisa. Amayam rinon. Why do we come up with the svara of shani oimer? Why do we have to rely on this fell into this one fell into? That's why you're matir. It's possible that the truma fell into the chulin, and if you eat a achilas pras of that, you're going to eat a kazayis truma. Why don't we say so? Elamai is it because heter mitzraf iser? Amai amrinan shani oimer. So again, why if it's heter mitzraf iser issue, then you also have to come on to shani oimer. Elahanach letrumas tavlin drabonani. The whole concept of spices being truma is rabbinic. So the whole thing is midrabbinic. So we're makel using this principle of shani oimer. Says Yoredeya. Remember learning this. Kufir Aleph. Hayushte kupos. Achal shulchon v'achal shutru. We have 2 boxes, one with chol and one with truma. And v'lifneim shtei soim achal shulchon v'achal shul truma. V'naflu elu tochel. One fell in the other. I heter nishra beino. The heter remains completely heter. Shani oimer. We use the svara sheheter naflu b'toche heter. But that's only truma midivrei sofrim. Aval something that's truma min Torah, it's only if the heter was a majority over the Isser, because then we use Rov. Same din even if there was a treif, something treif, not truma. Achas shel heter v'achas shel Isser, as long as the Isser was medivrei soifin, we're makel. But if it's a Isser Torah, if the taruvis has rov in it of dvar heter, then we permit. Eitz, I'll ask you a kasha. Shtei kupas. You have two baskets of grain. Achal shel truma v'achal shel chulin. V'lifneihem shtei soim achas shel chulin v'achal shel truma. Same case, and you have a basket of chulin grain, a basket of truma grain. V'naflu elu tochelu shteihen mutar. Again, we say the same svara. The truma fell into the truma, and the chulin fell into the chulin. Shani oimer chulin toch chulin naflu, truma toch truma naflu. If we're going to use this concept of bichtechles process midaraisa, we should say he's going to eat enough of the chulin, which had truma falling into it, that he's going to eventually eat a kazayas of it. Okay, so tomorrow we'll upshlug that kasha. Okay, so we're going to start the tzur b'nei